Welcome back to Cloud Concepts on the Run. I'm Tim.
And I'm Andy. Tim, you have that look in your eye. I feel a joke coming on.
You know me too well. I have to. Where do cloud developers keep their spare change?
I'm almost afraid to ask. Okay, where?
In their cache.
All right, wonderfully cheesy, as always. Now that we've gotten that out of our system, what massive topic are we tackling today?
Today, we are jumping into what will probably become a multi-part series.
Okay.
Because there is just so much to cover. We are talking about the foundational storage service of AWS, S3.
The simple storage service. Yeah, we've mentioned it before as a place to put files, but it sounds like there's a lot more going on under the hood.
There is. To get comfortable, let's start with the core concept. S3 is an object storage service. Think of it less like a hard drive attached to your computer, and more like an infinite digital warehouse.
Okay, a warehouse. So I'm not installing an operating system here. I'm just storing things. What are the containers for these things?
They're called buckets. A bucket is your top-level container, and here's the first critical fact.
Yeah?
Your bucket's name must be globally unique across all of AWS. No two people in the world can have a bucket named My Test Bucket.
So it's like claiming a domain name for a website. But the bucket itself, it doesn't live everywhere, right? It has a home.
Exactly. You choose a specific AWS region to create your bucket in.
Right.
And this is key for keeping your data close to your users or, say, for meeting data compliance laws. So it's a global name, but a regional resource.
Got it. So we have our bucket. What makes storing objects in it so special? I hear people throw around a crazy number.
They do, and it's the first pillar of S3's importance. It's 11 nines of durability. That's 99.99999999.
That's a number that's hard to even comprehend. What does that mean in the real world?
It means if you stored 10 million files in S3, you could, on average, expect to lose just one of them every 10,000 years.
Wow.
It is designed to never, ever lose your data. And that's durability, which is, importantly, different from availability.
Right. Availability is about whether the service is up and I can access my file right now.
Yes.
While durability means the file itself won't vanish from existence.
You nailed the distinction. The second pillar is its near infinite scalability. You never have to tell S3 you need more space, you just add more data.
Infinite, super durable storage. That sounds like it could get very expensive. How do we control the cost?
And that brings us to the most brilliant and strategic part of S3, storage classes. See, S3 understands that not all data is created equal.
Okay, so I can pay different prices based on how I use the data. Let me try an analogy. Is it like having files on my desk versus files in a closet versus files in a deep storage archive?
That is the perfect analogy. S3 standard is your desk for frequently accessed hot data. S3 standard infrequent access, or IA, is your closet. Cheaper to store,
right?
But there's a small fee when you need to retrieve something.
And S3 Glacier and Glacier Deep Archive must be that off-site facility. It's incredibly cheap for data I have to keep for years for compliance, but I have to accept that it might take minutes or even hours to get it back.
Precisely. And there are others like intelligent tiering, which automatically moves data between tiers for you, and Express One Zone for when you need extreme speed. For the exam, you don't need to memorize the costs, but you absolutely must know these use cases.
That level of control is incredible. But is it secure?
That's another pillar. By default, everything in S3 is completely private. You have to explicitly grant access using tools we've discussed like IAM policies or bucket-specific policies. You can also layer on multiple forms of server-side and client-side encryption.
And what about protecting me from myself? Like if I accidentally delete an important file?
That's where versioning comes in. If you enable it on a bucket, deleting or overwriting an object doesn't actually destroy it.
Okay.
It just creates a new version. You can always go back in time and restore a previous version. It's a total lifesaver.
It's like track changes for your entire storage system. And you mentioned automation with lifecycle policies, the ability to automatically move those files from the desk to the closet to the archive based on rules I set.
Yes, and you can even automatically replicate your data to another region for disaster recovery.
Wow. The amount of powerful data management you get out of the box is staggering. So, when you put it all together, the durability, scalability, tiered cost, security, and automation, I can see why you said it's a foundational service.
Yeah.
It's the backbone for hosting static websites, building huge data lakes for analysis, and robust backup and recovery.
It truly is. It's one of the most versatile and powerful tools in the entire AWS ecosystem, and we've only just scratched the surface. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. Lifecycle policies are all about automating the process of archiving data based on its age and perceived value. If you could apply an automatic lifecycle policy to the stuff in your own life, physical or digital, what would you archive first, and what would the rule be? We've established that S3 is this incredibly durable, scalable warehouse for our data.
Right.
A place that's designed to, never lose our files.
Right. The 11 nines of durability.
Mm-hmm.
But storing files is one thing. I feel like we're just scratching the surface. What are some of the really cool, maybe even unexpected things you can do with it?
Okay, so this is one of my favorite parts
Yeah?
because it completely changes how you think about the web. You can actually host an entire high-traffic website directly from S3.
Wait, pause right there. You mean without a server? No EC2 instance running Apache or Nginx?
None whatsoever. You simply upload your static content, your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and image files into an S3 bucket.
Okay.
You configure it for website hosting, and you're live. And the best part is the scalability.
Mm-hmm.
Whether 10 people or 10 million people visit your site, S3 handles the load automatically. You don't have to scale up, scale out, or do anything manually. It just works.
That is a legitimate game changer. It's a truly serverless website. So, to really understand the scale, what's a real-world example of a company using S3 in a massive way?
The ultimate example, the one that proves S3's power, is Netflix.
Okay, how do they use it?
Every single movie, every single episode of every TV show they own,
Uh-huh.
the master, high-resolution source file, it all lives as an object in S3. Their entire multi-petabyte library,
Wow.
the core asset of their whole business, is stored and protected by S3.
That's an incredible vote of confidence. But that brings up a question that's been nagging me. If Netflix's S3 buckets are physically located in, say, a data center in Virginia,
Right.
isn't it going to be really slow and laggy for me when I'm trying to stream a 4K movie in Tokyo? I mean, that data has to travel halfway across the planet.
You have just asked the single most important question about delivering content globally. And the problem you've described is solved by another critical AWS service,
Okay.
one that almost always works as a team with S3. It's called Amazon CloudFront.
CloudFront. It sounds fast. I'm guessing it's a content delivery network or CDN?
Precisely. And the best way to think about it is with an analogy.
All right.
Imagine S3 is this giant central national archives, a super secure facility that holds the one and only original copy of every important document.
Okay. The single source of truth. Highly durable, but not convenient for everyone in the world to visit.
Exactly. So, what do? We make high-quality copies of the most popular documents and place them in thousands of local libraries all over the world.
Ah.
These local libraries are CloudFront's edge locations.
I get it now. So when I, in Tokyo, click play on a show, my request doesn't go all the way to the National Archives in Virginia.
Nope.
And CloudFront intelligently routes my request to the nearest local library in Japan that already has a cached copy of that show.
You've nailed it. The first time someone in Japan requests that show,
Yeah.
CloudFront fetches it from S3 and makes a copy. Every person after that gets the super fast, low latency copy from the local edge location. It makes the user experience incredible, and it also dramatically reduces the load on the original S3 bucket.
So S3 is the durable, centralized backend, and CloudFront is the fast, distributed front end. they're a power couple.
They are one of the most fundamental and powerful architectural patterns on the modern internet.
Wow.
Storage and delivery, solved at a global scale.
Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. CloudFront works by pre-placing popular content closer to where it's needed. In your own daily routine, what is one thing, an object, a piece of information, or a tool that you could cache closer to where you use it to make your day dramatically more efficient?
Okay, Andy, so we've talked about all these, incredible S3 use cases, hosting websites, the Netflix story, global delivery with CloudFront.
Yeah.
But we have to address the elephant in the room, security.
I'm so glad you brought that up because you hear the stories, these high-profile security breaches where just massive amounts of data were exposed from an S3 bucket. It's the kind of thing that makes companies nervous.
It absolutely is. And the most critical takeaway from those incidents is that it was not an AWS fault.
Right.
This is the shared responsibility model in action. I mean, in the most dramatic way possible.
Ah, okay. So AWS was responsible for security of the cloud, the physical data centers, the network.
Yeah.
But the customer is responsible for security in the cloud, meaning how they configured their own bucket.
Precisely. And in fact, AWS has gone to great lengths to make it really difficult to make that mistake. When you create a new bucket, it is 100% private by default.
Okay.
So to make it public, you have to go through multiple steps, turning off a feature called block public access, writing an explicit policy. It's like the console is asking you, are you absolutely, positively sure you want to do this?
So it's not something you can do with like an accidental click.
No.
It has to be a very intentional act, like for hosting a public website.
It does. So that raises the question, if everything is private by default, how do you share a single private file with someone securely?
That's a great question. You don't want to make the whole bucket public just for one report. So how does it work?
The answer is one of the most, I think, elegant security patterns in AWS, a pre-signed URL.
Okay, break that down for me. It sounds like a secret download link.
That's exactly what it is. Using your own secure credentials, you ask S3 to generate a unique web link for a specific object. You can set that link to expire in, say, 5 minutes. You send it to your colleague, they download the file.
Wow.
And 5 minutes later, that link becomes completely useless.
Wow. So it's like a digital key that only works on one door for 5 minutes.
Exactly.
And then crumbles to dust after one use.
It's so cool.
It provides temporary access without ever changing the bucket's private settings.
You've got it. It's the default secure way to grant access. And look, we could do 10 more episodes on S3, but this is a fantastic start. We'll be sure to sprinkle more on S3 as we go along.
We really look forward to the next one. And if you, our listener, think this content is useful, please help us help you.
She's right. Please take a second to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Please.
It tells us we're on the right track. And as always, our most important advice, remember to get some hands-on experience.
We'll see you soon on the next episode, which is all about EBS.
Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. A pre-signed URL is like giving someone a key that only works on one door for 5 minutes. In your own digital life, what is one piece of information you wish you could share with that same level of temporary controlled access?